Hello, RichTV Live. How's it going?
It's going great. How are you?
I'm really good.
Good to hear.
Um, it's been an interesting week. I think you know what I've been doing this week. Um, I think we talked about last week that we were going to have a decentralized conference, a Bitcoin conference here in hopes of starting a Bitcoin circular economy, and it happened. So this has been our conference. Lots of times we have speakers sessions in the middle of lakes. This is actually a mangrove kayak. We took these kayaks, so everybody, there was like 12 of us, and we took kayaks out to the mangroves. And then once we got
Sweet.
past the crocodile mud, there was like a sinkhole swimmer. So this little log here was so funny. Everyone who wanted to speak had to swim under that log, and then you got to have your minute in the spot in the hole. So that's why I did it. And however long you wanted to stand in the hole was however long you were allowed to speak because the hole was kind of mushy. So yeah, this was one of our conference days. It was a lot of fun. Anyways, needless to say, we've made it. So this here is Galloway. So Andrew is part of the Galloway team, and the Galloway team is the one that built the Bitcoin Beach wallet for El Salvador that actually got like the Lightning Network started throughout El Salvador.
That's
And so pretty
that's
much,
huge. Congratulations.
thank you. So this is up here. So this is us here, this little pink flamingo. We made our Bitcoin is not orange, it's pink for an ode to Mexico because we're recording, right?
Yep.
Okay, because Mexico, there's this color called Bitcoin pink. And it's also my favorite color. But anyways, it actually is a cultural color. And because our focus, I think that's different from other Bitcoin beach communities, is that we want to make Bitcoin education culturally sensitive. Because there's like El Salvador has this group called Me Premier Bitcoin, and they've introduced this education program that is next level. Like it's so amazing. And that was one of their first like problems and challenges. Okay. That was one of their first problems and challenges when they got started, is that they didn't educate people before they gave them the Bitcoin. So Me Premier Bitcoin formed after El Salvador became legal tender, but it's not culturally sensitive. So like we have a Mexican woman on our team who knows all about, women's health and empowering those that are disempowered. And she even said it like, there's no way we can make that fly because it is written by people in El Salvador. And then all these other communities, like how many are we now? 21? 1, 2, 3, 4, 24. So there's now 24 circular Bitcoin economies in the world. We're the 24th. Holy shit, that's so cool, hey?
That's huge.
We literally are the 24th. Legit, we've been validated. So this week was a verification vacation. We invited a lot of Bitcoiners, including Peter Todd, of all people, to verify. And then Georgigi sent one of his top people to come and check out what we were building. And they came to a presentation yesterday, and they basically said you've been inducted.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, so literally Andrew of Galloway Beach heard from them that they verified us. So those people came to see if we had what it takes, and they told the team that we have it. I don't even believe it yet. I'm still in shock. I keep crying because it's like pretty amazing. So I guess that means we're legit. And now we just have a lot of work to do because we went into this with like rose-colored glasses, thinking that we can just show them what we've done and orange pill the whole town. And then we found out that it's not that easy. This week we had some of the top Bitcoiners in Bitcoin development and circular economy development working with us to try different experiments, pick apart the experiments we've done, and start to work together in our way that's Mexican and like culturally sensitive. And we realized that our challenges here are a little bit bigger than we expected. And then we then had a surprise guest from Ibex Mercado. So he's like the co-founder of Ibex Mercado. They're out of Guatemala and they're a Bitcoin company. And so they're going to help us fix the challenges here. So
Wow, that's
already,
great.
yes,
It's a great
because our
partnership.
main challenge, I have to tell you, I didn't expect this. I expected this more to happen in Alzante than I expected it to happen here. But so like just for example, we as a group, there was about 20 of us went into this restaurant. It was the only restaurant in the beach town, this Pueblo Magico, that we will be turning into our Mexico Bitcoin Beach community. We thought that maybe we can orange pill local businesses, but it's actually not going to be that easy. What we need now is for businesses, Bitcoin businesses, to open in the town and then just basically seed the idea for others, because the challenges were next level. We go into this restaurant and there's 20 people, there's about 20 of us. So it was going to be a pretty substantial bill, right? At the end of the night, we all paid our bill. And then one of our team members went into the restaurant and said, okay, well, now that you saw, how much we eat as a group and what kind of revenue you can make off of us, if you accept Bitcoin, we'll be here every night. If not, we're cooking at home. Right?
Yeah.
It was literally the only restaurant open past 7 p.m., the only one in town. And they said that they would accept Bitcoin. So then we're like, okay, now you have to download your wallet of Satoshi, your Lightning wallet. We'll get you all set up. And then this young guy, and he was young, he was like in his 20s. He takes it his cell phone and he downloaded his wallet of Satoshi. He didn't have data on his phone. So Randy Island here had to hotspot his phone. And then we're like, okay, trying to like put your email in your wallet of Satoshi so you can recover yourself if you lose your phone, right? And then we're like, what's your email address? This is like 2023, and a 20-something-year-old, he didn't have an email address. Oh, he did. He just didn't know it. I'm like, I know at least 4 email addresses that were mine that I use on the common, right? And he pulled out this rackety little piece of paper. You remember that? And he thought it was
Yeah.
his email address. And every time we entered it into Wallet of Satoshi, it was saying error. So we were like, yo, you really have not used this email address in a long time. Anyways, we got him sorted, but that was a challenge. Then we go back the next morning thinking it's our like Bitcoin restaurant for the week. And then the morning staff is like, no, we don't accept Bitcoin. We're like, yo, we just tipped the crap out of out of the one last night. What do you mean you don't accept Bitcoin? And then this one's like, oh, I don't have a cell phone. Oh my God. Then we go on a tour. I mean, there's like all of us in the tour. There's had to have been 15 of us on that tour. And it was a good, it should have been a good tip. So we get back and one of our Bitcoiners says, okay, I'm going to give you a tip, but I want to give you a tip in Satoshis so that you have some Bitcoin. So then we're in the street and he's like, well, I don't have data. So here we are trying to hotspot the guy in the middle of the street. And then the sun was shining and the glare was next level. And we're trying to scan his QR code to give him a tip. And it was such a failure because the guy was like, this ain't easy at all because we're all crouched under a tree in the shade. Like, all right, we have some more challenges than we thought, not as easy as we expected. So the things we thought were going to be so easy to show them, their lack of technology blocked us. But it just so happens that we landed with a team of people and a bunch of businesses like Bitrefill, Ibex Mercado that are like keen to help us. And then we also have Island here from Bitcoin Lake. Did you know there's a Bitcoin economy in the US and they actually do it's like a membership program, like a yacht club, but for
Oh,
Bitcoin.
wow. I didn't know that.
Yeah. Can I let him tell you?
Bitcoinpark.com.
Can you tell us about Bitcoin Park? Oh, I can pull it up here. Because these are cool things that we are all learning, right? Okay, bitcoinpark.com. You can see my screen right now, right?
Yep.
Okay, so we got Island here right now. He's part of Bitcoin Park. And I'll let you give the lowdown. They can see the screen. If
Oh, okay.
You got to mouse pad it.
Yeah. So I actually looked up Bitcoin Park because I was on Orange Pill app, which is like a way to find people in the area that are into Bitcoin. So you can find some friends and whatnot. So I was like browsing through and I found Bitcoin Park in someone's profile. So I thought it was just gonna be like a baseball field or something where people are having beers. And I go to the event that was on the meetup.com page, and it's this 2-building, 2-story complex. Used to be a former recording studio. So there's like all these rooms you could book. There's a main common area, full kitchens,
You gotta see the
shower.
photos. Is there photos on their website?
No, they don't really
Because it's
share.
sovereign. Okay, tell
Yes.
us what it looks like inside.
Yeah, the photos are I can have
That's
Amanda
so cool.
describe some of these, but yeah, it's full of art, and that's probably
Nice.
one of the coolest things is all Bitcoin art, and it's from people all around the world. I even ordered some pieces from Argentina.
That's
But
cool.
yeah, monthly meetups, they're the same every year. The newest one is Noster November, but Mempool May is next, and there's always something going on basically, even when there's not an event. So yeah, it's pretty cool.
So what you don't know, Island, I'm about to tell you this right now. So FYI, I'm just gonna tell you this live right now because Island doesn't know I'm sending you there. Remember I told you I'm sending you somewhere in the morning?
Okay.
You're gonna go have a meeting with Daniel and Juan Pablo of IBAX
Okay.
and Matrick of Bit Refill.
Yeah, of
I'm
course.
sending you, Matrick, and Juan Pablo out to the Bitcoin Citadel in the morning.
Oh, sick.
Buckle up before your flight. So here's what's happening. Pretend you don't know this because I'm doing this live for our group.
Okay.
We want to do something here in Mexico and involve Bitcoin parks so that we can have a Bitcoin park style membership for like Bitcoin beach style vacation memberships when they come down to Sal.
I think Rod might be able to work something out with that.
Yeah, I think there'll be more because IBEX Mercado will support a lot of people that want to do initiatives in Lightning in Mexico. So props.
Cool.
You're going to a business meeting tomorrow.
All right. We'll talk. I like
But
this.
how cool is this? Anyways, I saw what it looks like. It literally looks like suburbia pimped out. That's what this Bitcoin park looks like. I'll send you photos. Can you send me photos on Telegram and I'll share them in the
I
group?
can only share a couple photos, but if you
Now,
want to describe some of the stuff as you scroll through it.
oh, this is cool. So they have all this artwork and stuff, like framed artwork. They have like signed things, and these houses just look like they look like they're out of Georgia. They look like the Southern Georgian homes. And everyone, you actually are living in a Bitcoiner community. It's a legit Bitcoin community. This is sick. They have a cafe like us.
Like that.
Oh my
photo I
God,
could
there's a
share.
co-working space.
Oh, there's both buildings. You
It's
can co-work
literally a
everywhere.
Bitcoin co-working space and it looks like a house.
And there's people there every day.
Wow. Is it a Bitcoiner, like a ball and Bitcoiner that bought this house?
Oh, well, it was Odell and Rod.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, they went in together on it.
This is sick.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's a big catalyst. Now we got more. Today, how many more days are left in April? 2?
Yeah, today and tomorrow.
Okay, do you see this? May 1st starts the MicroStrategy conference. So MicroStrategy has done this conference every year for a few years, but it's actually going to be the first year he's done it online. Michael Saylor is now accepting Bitcoin Satoshis, so small pieces of Bitcoin, through his email address. So if you download Wallet of Satoshi for Lightning, you have Wallet of Satoshi, right, RichTV?
I do, yes.
If you download Wallet of Satoshi, if you go and look on your Lightning or open your Wallet of Satoshi, and you'll see that there's actually like an @ symbol. And then you'll see it'll say like some wacky, weird email address at walletofsatoshi.com. That email address works as a Lightning address. So people can send you Satoshis, pieces of Bitcoin, up to 1,200 Bitcoin is what the Lightning Network can handle, is what I heard recently. Is it more now?
1,200.
That's what I heard.
I haven't checked. I know you could do a lot more.
Okay, we'll double check.
I know you can do
Okay,
a lot.
last check, it was 1,200, but then I have a tech expert beside me, a Bitcoin expert who says what's the Lightning capacity now? 1 second.
I know they have one. It's called Wumbo.
Guest speaker experts today.
It's called Wumbo channels, and it's like over
Wumbo.
the original cap, which is like
I give that to Jimmy.
18 million. But let me see what
18 million.
Let me.
What?
That was the Satoshis. That was the cap. When
18
when
million
it first started,
Satoshis.
but let's see.
Oh no, it's grown a lot. Last I checked, it was 1,200. We checked live, right, Rich?
Pardon
Like
me?
it was, I think last time we checked the Lightning Network capacity, I think it was at least 1,200 Bitcoins.
So it was 0.16 originally.
I'm not sure,
It went
100%.
from 0.16 Bitcoin capacity to
to wow.
okay, so listen to this. Mine, I just have like a straight up, I signed in wallet of Satoshi and it gave me my Lightning email address. Island over here has a Lightning address. His wallet of Satoshi has a custom Lightning address. So his actually says island at walletofsatoshi.com. So if anyone says, I want to send you some Bitcoin, he can literally just give them that email address and they can send Lightning. They can send sats over the Lightning network. So here's the big development. Michael Saylor learned this, and Michael Saylor now has a Lightning wallet email address. Michael Saylor posted that, and everyone was sending him 21 Satoshis. Like his email, like it was flooding with 21 Satoshis, like 21 million Bitcoin, right? Here's the thing. We got to prep up because Bitcoin, I think this is going to be a huge, huge catalyst. So now that Michael Saylor announced 2 weeks before this conference that he's doing with, no, look at this. Bitcoin and Lightning for corporations is a unique opportunity for leaders, execs, and tech innovators to discuss the future of Bitcoin in the corporate world. Corporate world. The event features expert needed for corporations to plug into Bitcoin and Lightning and reimagine their business directly from the market's most credible voices and experienced practitioners. He's got thousands of businesses coming.
By the way,
thousands. What?
There is no limit anymore after the Rumble update. And look at the biggest channel right now.
Whoa.
Yes.
25, is that million?
That's
25
million. Yeah, dollars like in the biggest Lightning channel.
All right, you
now.
can transact up to 25 million per transaction on the Lightning network right now. Did you hear that?
That's just one channel.
That's massive.
That's one channel?
That's one channel. So you can use multiple channels and send as much as you need.
If you need to send 100 million, you could do it right now and have it in a hot second.
Yeah. Yeah.
I would lock myself in my panic room with my wallet as Satoshi until I transferred it. Oh, we don't transfer to Ledger anymore. Guess what? RichTV and members, we learned something. Ledger might be a problem, but there's a new thing. It's a cold storage, and it's not just for tech people, and it's called Bitbox. I learned it from Felix and the DG team. It's called Bitbox, so let's do our DD. Anyways, this event hosted by MicroStrategy has thousands of companies, including Block and Tesla, coming. I'll say that one more time. Block and Tesla are coming to learn how to trade or how to accept Bitcoin in their business. Corporations, institutions are learning how to transact without sanctions. They're learning how to accept Lightning payments, which is Satoshis, up to 21 million worth of Bitcoin over the Lightning network with an email address. At the minimum, with a up to what, 1% transaction fee. Do you know how much that can save corporations?
It's not even that sometimes. Sometimes you could send a Lightning transaction and it only costs you 1 Satoshi if that.
Did you hear that?
There's some that don't cost you anything.
So Michael Saylor has his keynote speakers. There's Mike Rayani. We just heard from him. He's from Block and Cash App. Then Clearly Saylor, Elizabeth Stark of Lightning Labs, and Jack Mallers of Strike. Legend. So like, if people don't see this as a catalyst, I just want to shake them because this is a freaking catalyst. So like, look at this, Bitcoin for corporations and Lightning for corporations. Listen to his keynote ideas. Learn how Bitcoin and the Lightning Network deliver a globally accessible open monetary system. Here from Cash App, the #1 finance app in the App Store and the world's largest Lightning-enabled app. Discover use cases that a global, ready for this, global, low-cost, real-time payment protocol unlocks. Therefore, fuck sanctions. Let's go Bitcoin. How good is this?
And for anybody who doesn't know, Block is a pretty big organization, included.
We have Block on our list today.
Square, Cash App, Spiral, Tidal, and TBD all companies under block. So very exciting.
Block is getting sick, hey? They've had some bad news, but we've been popping it. And I was like, we'll get to the chart in a minute. Okay, US 30 Friday, yo. How good was that green?
Oh, I'm loving it.
Right? I was
Great.
stoked. So I saw that green, and then I was looking at CNBC at the end of the day, and they were like, Dow gains more than 250 points Friday as the index finishes the best month since January. Do you think that that will hold RichTV Live?
It's very hard to predict. It's been doing really well this year. Probably not, but you never know. It's hard to predict right now because
I'm with you
everything's
on the
going up all
probably
year.
not. I'm totally with you on the probably not. So I know we've done this the last 2 weeks, but I just gotta bust this bad boy out. Check this. Wall Street cheat sheets. Okay. If you don't look at this, then you don't know where we are. I think the US 30 is setting up for a crash. Why? Because some of the banks are going into receivership. Did you see that First Republic Bank is going into receivership?
Yeah, there's a lot of problems, of course.
Right? But then what did we talk about last week? It was having a pump and people were running in there. I'm like, how can you be so stupid? And then there we have Friday was down 43%. Okay, Russell 2000. Russell 2000 to me, okay, I just want you to look at the US 30. Here's the US 30. When I look at the US 30 chart on the daily, it looks to me compared to this that we're in a state of complacency. Because as we've stated before, as the banks start to fail, they are going to have to sell their shares. As they're selling their stocks, those stocks will go down because they've lost liquidity and volume. Because the banks are no longer on a fractional reserve banking system, they now are able, since March of 2020, they can now invest 100% of a depositor's deposit. In order to pay out said depositors, they need to sell some fucking stocks. So guess what? Pretty much everything in the US 30 is about to have a shit unless they're mining Bitcoin. If they're not mining Bitcoin or they're not in the travel because everybody's on the move, then they're probably going to be fucked. So I think the US 30 is about to dive. And I think that this is your last chance complacency before the big dip. Like, look at all these fails. 1, 2, 3, 4 rejections. 4 rejections since August. And now that we have all these failures, and before they were trying to hold it up, saying, don't worry, we got you, First Republic. Don't worry, we got you, Signature. But that's a crock of crap because they don't have you. Because now JP Morgan, everyone wants to buy up their debt. So it's forcing everybody into the top banks, right? But it's gross. So they were all saying First Republic's going to do good. First Republic's going to do good. But now they're saying US regulators have asked banks for their best and final takeover offers for First Republic by Sunday afternoon. So we're going to know tomorrow. In a move that the authorities hope will cap a period of uncertainty for regional lenders. JP Morgan Chase and PNC are likely bidders for the ailing lenders. So if you're in JP Morgan, I would highly consider rethinking that position. If you're in any baking stock, I would highly consider that position. Also, when people start to go broke, they look for gambling plays. And that's what you find in the Russell 2000 because it's a small cap index. The Russell 2000 does not have a complacency chart. Russell 2000 actually looks like it's pretty sick. So if you look at this, it's kind of sitting off support and rejecting a fall, which means that retail traders are alive and healthy because we've waited for 2 years for this to bottom out and pick us up. And it looks to me like we're ready to move up. Because if you zoom in more, this is a daily, we're starting to print higher lows. So I think the small caps are ready to pay us. And it's been a minute. Index looks good as well. I think the index, because index has in a bunch of Bitcoin miners. Index has in the tech stocks that have no chance but to do well because we can't bring in shit from China and Taiwan anymore. So that stands for Microsoft, IBM, all these guys to prevail because it's all we got. Gold's at 1989, yo. Do you think it's gonna fall or do you think it's gonna bust that?
Well, I told you what I thought about gold. I told you I didn't think it was going to hold 2000, and I've been correct.
Yes, you were correct.
Manipulated.
Yeah, it's totally
I
manipulated.
don't think, we've seen anything break its all-time highs. We've seen the same thing over and over with everything, the stock market, gold, Bitcoin. Every time we've seen all-time highs get challenged,
Yeah.
it's rejected, and it's been the case for a while now. So
Word.
I just didn't have any confidence that we'd see gold, go through the moon like everybody predicted, and so far I've been correct.
I
Because
think
I
you're pretty
believe that
correct.
most
I
people are
think it's
looking
gonna.
for these opportunities to sell when you have assets at their, all-time highs, and gold's never really held 2000. So to me, it's a clear
No, and I
sell
don't think
position.
it's gonna hold, but I think it's gonna come and retest between 16 and 18, and then I think we're gonna print 22. Because as we talked about before, the last time we had a major major crisis. If you look at major real estate crisis, that was around this time in the mid 90s. So this time here, I find this interesting, but I think gold, because we didn't have Bitcoin as high and strong as we do now, gold has still been the safe haven run to. And we've talked about how all these strange countries that we never expected to have been stacking gold like nobody's business because they haven't been to one of Michael Saylor's conferences. They clearly didn't come to Genero Magico already to learn this. Regardless, last financial crisis, gold popped that high and went up. So that was in the 90s. So this was the 90s real estate crash. We're expected to see an 80s real estate crash, which is even uglier. Now, gold went up 355% from there. Now we're about to see another 1980s real estate crash. So I think over this next year, we see it come between 16 and 18, and then we're probably going to spike to 25-ish before a pullback.
Sounds reasonable.
So I think gold is setting up for an ugly pullback. People are going to panic, but then real estate's going to have their very first ugly show, and then this is going to rock it. Dixie's at 101. I think it's going to still keep dropping. Oh, I don't have oil on here. What happened with oil on Friday?
$76 right now. It went
Really?
up. Friday actually had a
Of
good
course
day.
it went up. The tops are turned off. Of course it went up. Oh, why can't I find oil crude? The taps are turned off. So when the taps get turned off and Saudi says, fuck you, you're not getting my oil. What's happening to me right now? Why can't I find crude? Oh, crude oil futures. Let's go with this one. Meow, meow. Not what I wanted. Back that up.
Pesos.
Let's go US oil. There we go. US oil. That's what I wanted. 76.61.
That's right.
Mm-hmm. All right. I think it's ready to rip. That totally, look at the week on that. Yeah, we're on a monthly, but we've been on the bottom for so long. Okay. So yeah, we were good. I think that's just actually following a trend and getting ready to bust. So we had that big dip down because everybody like really thought that things were going to go well. But this, I fact checked this. This is when Biden released the last oil reserves. And people thought that the price of, because remember, this was when like gas was about 220 and then everything got ugly. And then Biden released those emergency reserves. And then it dipped down ugly and it came back. It looks like it's going to come up now that they have to pay more and they're not getting around sanctions. And Michael Saylor is about to teach them how to not get around, how to get around sanctions even more.
Totally agree on oil.
You agree on oil?
Totally agree.
I really think so. So like when I was smashing Warren Buffett for buying like CVX at a high, it's about to bust. So those like props wearing, even though you're a dick. So yeah, I think this is it. I think oil is about to spike hard. So anything oil related, we talked about them last week, right? Like Oxy, PHP, ConocoPhillips, all those guys. I wanted to put them on here, but we have a lot of picks, so I couldn't. But you know the faves. They're
Of
about to
course.
spike. Okay, First Republic.
Chevron,
It's still going down.
Exxon Mobil,
Yes. What else?
Devon Energy.
CVX, Occidental.
There's a lot.
Yeah.
Shell.
Conoco, PHP. Could keep going and going. I don't know. Those are my top faves. But this is the time, like they're all at sick levels. And even the ones that look high, they're going higher because they're screwed now. So look at First Republic. How gross is this, eh? Seriously.
Bank that's having some serious problems.
Right. But shit rolls downhill. And so whoever takes these guys out of receivership is going to have a stand as well. So pay attention. But I do think the media is going to say tomorrow, they're going to say, oh, JP Morgan just offered to save the day. JP Morgan's the best bank in the whole world. Go to Chase. Everybody put your money in Chase. And then they're going to have a shitty quarter because they had to pay receivership of First Republic. So just keep that in mind. If you think that it's going to be okay, it's not. Okay. We talked about AI and I've just been mad hunting. Some of these, remember we had that really juicy AI spike and it came back down?
Yep.
It's not back down anymore. These are all creeping up. And I think that like one news article and they all gonna blow. So I have some that we've talked about already and some that have been in your top 10 and a couple new ones. But I just wanted to talk on the charts because they look ripe as heck. So watch this. We had that big spike. And then thankfully for you, RichTV, because remember you were like, AI is going to be our sector. I didn't really know that at the time. And then we've been making our list. And I think we've been adding to our list over the last couple of weeks. And so guys, Rich sent me, we're not financial advisors, by the way, but we analyze pretty well and we do good stuff. But Rich sent me a list last week, I think it was, of all these, it was like a long list of AIs. And so I went through the list and I was just trying to pick them apart. There was a lot in there that said they were AI companies, but it looks like they only told like the CSE or the TSX that they were AI companies and they forgot to tell Google because when I went to their websites, there was nothing AI in them. So a lot of them were maybe like a hope and a prayer, but these guys actually are all AI. I'm not saying all of them are great. I haven't done DD on all of them, but they're turning green in beautiful ways. So this is bots. This is the robotics one. This one came off. I love the rhythm. I think it needs to pull back down to like 2280 and then we're golden. It's BOTZ. It's an ETF. So if you don't, want to just pick one AI stock and you just want to do it the easy way out, there's a freaking good rhythm on that. Lemonade. Have you heard of Lemonade?
Yes, I have.
Oh, I didn't. This is a new one to me. So they haven't reached their bottom yet, but I actually was looking into what they're doing and I like it. And I think there's a good place for it. So I took a little gander at their financials and it wasn't really so bad. Okay, check out their earnings. And I actually like this one. Okay, where do we go? More financials. Statements. Yeah, so we're starting to see we're starting to get a little better. You see this quarterly, I mean?
Yeah.
I'm liking it. So it looks to me like they're improving.
Any debt?
Yeah, fuck, keeps the debt.
Oh, yeah.
All these AI companies have so much debt because they've had to put in all the tech, right? Yeah. They all have a lot of debt. But what it is these AI stocks get hype.
Yeah.
This is hype. This is just like hit them and run. Because a lot of this aren't going to stay forever. It's going to take a while till we know who's the Amazon and who's the Square and who's the Meta. But there's going to be some winners in here. But when one goes, they all go because it's the hype train. It's like the first part of the sector. It's a brand new sector. And we've traded these historically new sectors like cannabis. They spike hard. Everybody gets excited and then they rape everybody. And then what was the next one we all got violated on in the end? Psychedelic stocks came out, spiked up, had the first spike, waited for the second, never came. AI is going to be the same. They're going to have a couple big spikes and they're going to have a whole bunch of drama. We just got to know when to get out. Take money, run. Agree. So yeah, this is a pretty juicy looking chart. Let's measure out our top percentage. Lemonade. Okay, so if we reach last high was January 2021, that's 1,708%. So next AI spike, juice it up. Okay, we got another one, APP. Look at this chart. There's a creep on this that is juicy. You see that creep?
Yep.
So looks to me like it's just about to bust out of that. That's App Lovin'. What a weird name, right? App Lovin', but they have AI and it's actually interesting what they're doing. And apparently people like them. There's $17 a stock. And how many shares do they have? Oh, 100 million shares. No dramas. Okay, percentage. What do we got in there? It doesn't that look though like it's about to blow? 580 the last high, and last high was
A
November.
lot of these charts look the same, right? They're all just beaten down. So,
Yeah, they're drool worthy.
and I mean, a lot of these have come down like 90%. It's unreal to look at this stocks coming down from like $200 to $10. You know, it's like
Exactly.
crazy.
I didn't do too much digging into this one. I only saw that they flatlined. They look pretty dead. They're still working and they're doing some stuff. I just don't know how worthy their stuff is. But clearly somebody thought they were worthy way back here for 4,500%. And that hit in, when did that hit? Why can't I see that? It was a hell of a long time ago. A year ago. Okay, so these are all the same then. They all spiked a year ago. They're all exactly at the same point. So next spike, we should be good. And those were big spikes. Like you see these, they all have the same candle and reject. All of them, which means there should be no reason that they don't all play the same hype train again. Watch this. Lemonade. There's the hype spike. Same time. APP. Same hype spike. Then Mark. Same hype spike. See what I'm saying?
Yep.
So when they come out to play, they're all coming to play together. And then they're going to fall like a bugger. See, I expect them to all crash again, but it's going to be a good play. There's another spike, same time. ALYA. This one,
we're in a market now where if you're not profitable, you're going to get punished. And the only companies that are really going up right now are the ones that are profitable, and everyone else is just getting annihilated. And that's just kind of what it is. So a lot of these stocks have come down because they do not make money. They have a lot of debt and they continue to get into debt. They raise capital, they dilute their stock. And this is why a lot of these companies go down. And you see the companies like Facebook, for example, or Meta, who's reporting massive earnings, massive revenue.
Yeah, but Meta's reporting losses out their ass. Meta's losses are so terrible between all their lawsuits. Like they've been losing $100 million lawsuits over and over again.
No, I know, but $100 million for a
privacy.
company that's sitting on like 100 billion is nothing.
Yeah, but they can blow through 100 billion so quick when they have expenses of 200 million plus on something like they made Metaverse into a cartoon and called it Facebook.
Well, I mean, take a look at that stock and show me someone that's doing better.
Is that really a real challenge you want me to take?
I mean, take a look at Meta and show me someone who's doing better.
Not a problem. Hold on, let's do this.
Let's take a look at Meta and show me someone who's doing better. Like, look at that chart.
Okay, so Meta has
It's gone from $80 to 240.
Okay, so Meta has 63% to recover back to its highs.
No, I know, but from the bottom.
Okay, so you want me to show you a chart that's doing better?
Hold on,
Here's
from the bottom.
No, you asked me to find you a chart that's
It's
doing
up
better. So here's
200%.
booking.com, and it is at all-time highs. Looks to me like it's doing better. I don't know if it's all-time highs. Let me zoom out for reals.
Yeah, but it's not.
Yeah, there's booking.com, all-time highs. That's officially a stock that's doing better than Meta. Okay, when? Now let's go back.
Well, hold on. Meta is up
give me-
200%
Since when?
since November.
And you
How
don't think,
much
you
is
look at this chart,
Booking.com?
you don't think that's so
How much is
manipulated?
Booking.com up since November? If you're going to compare it, you got to
Well,
compare it equally.
Booking.com didn't know, but that wasn't part of the deal. You said find me a stock that's doing better.
Yeah,
So no,
show me someone that's up more than 200% in the last 6 months.
well, they didn't go down so far because they didn't have such terrible revenue.
I'm just trying to say that Facebook is on fire.
I think Facebook is
because
being
they have
severely
revenue growth
manipulated.
and they have money in the bank. And all these companies' stocks are getting destroyed because they have no money in the bank, no assets, tons of debt, and that's why they go down and they stay
But then
down.
when you think about it, if you look at every hedge fund in the USA, I bet you Meta is in their top holdings because the FANG is still the FANG. Facebook, even though it's Meta.
But there's a reason
it's
for
still
it
the
because they have
effing
money
FANG.
in the bank.
No. The
Other
reason
companies
they're
that
up
get
is because
crushed,
every hedge fund is down. So
all
when
these
they got
companies that
down,
get
they all put
crushed,
in a bunch of money to try and pump it up so they can try and get out with as smaller losses as they had.
okay, there's a
So they're
reason why
having to
companies
contain
go
that.
up and stay up. It's because they have value. When companies go down,
Facebook
they
doesn't
have
have
no
value.
value, and
No.
that's why they get crushed, because they have no assets and cash on the balance sheet.
Oh yeah, Facebook has assets, but they're gonna blow through them faster than you can shake a stick.
No, I disagree
Because
with that
Facebook
completely. And
doesn't
so
have
does
much
the whole
pushback
street.
in the world.
I disagree with that completely, and so does the whole street. And that's why the stock's going crazy.
Okay, so about
I don't know
manipulating,
how you
all of
can bet
Wall
against
Street believes
Facebook when
it's
they're up
gonna go up.
200% in the last 6 months. It just blows my mind.
Okay, anyways, back to potential. I think Facebook has the potential to crash harder than we ever seen before because they're garbage. Just because they were good in the past doesn't mean they made it out of this new world, and they're not making it out of this new world. I really don't
Facebook
think
makes
so.
a
But
ton
I'm
of
not a
money in
financial advisor.
advertising, and they're one of the top advertising companies in the world, and that's not going to stop.
You can't say that's not going to stop because New York Times used to be the top advertising company in the world, and they're getting stopped. And so is a lot of other broadcasting companies that have been stopped. So that's not true. You have to stay with the times, and Meta tried to stay with the times, and then they wasted their money doing it. Now they're trying to now they have to pay off all their lawsuits and stuff, and they're cutting jobs like nobody's business because they are blowing through money. So I don't think so, but I mean, we'll see.
So there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, only 6 companies in the world that have more cash on hand than Facebook.
Okay,
Facebook
so
is
how long
sitting.
do you think
Hold
Facebook?
on, listen, let me
How much
break down my
expenses does Facebook
stats
have,
because
though?
I
Let's
like
go
to
back
bring
and go through
arguments with
this.
stats. There's only 6 companies in the world that have more cash on hand than Facebook. Facebook is sitting on 54.8 billion in cash.
Mhm. Okay,
So there's a reason why the stock
in
is up
Q3
200%.
2021, Facebook had in Q3 2021, Facebook had a net income of 9.19 billion. Q4 2021, it was 10.29. Then from Q4 2021, it went down to 7.46 billion. So that's a loss of 2 billion per quarter. Then it went down to 6.69 billion. So that's a loss of 40% in the year. Then it went down to 4.39 billion. So now we're looking at 50%, more than 50% revenue loss. Then we stabilized at 4.65 billion. And then we ended up at 5.71. So a small bump. Now let's look at operating.
5.7 billion in net income is not a small amount of money.
So they went from 9.19.
That's a huge amount of money.
Dude.
5.7 billion in net income is ridiculously massive.
So for a company that was the top company in the world that you think will stay forever, they've lost 50% of their income in 2 years. So if they've lost 50% of their income in 2 years, I say they got 2 years left. Because if once they lose another 50% of their income, all that billions they have, the fact that their expenses are bigger than their income, who cares about your income when your expenses eat it up? So
where are you getting the statistic they've lost 50% of their income?
Okay, net income Q3 2021, 9.19 billion. Q3 2023, net income 5.71 billion. So that's pretty close, right? That's 2 years. That's losing 50% of your revenue. So if you continue the way you are, which they have, you have 2 years left. So that's where I'm getting that from. I'm just saying they need to fix their books because their books are cooked. Their books are cooked.
Every company in the world's revenue went down last year. Like every company in the world's revenue went down last year. Every stock in the world went down last year.
In Canada, those bitches are paid, yo.
I think you
Those
forgot
bitches
what
are
happened last year
paid.
when everything went down, including Bitcoin and every
I
single stock and
do.
every single crypto.
Oh,
So
I don't.
everybody
Yeah.
took a hit last year.
And they're gonna get hit harder if they start buying Facebook. But let's get to where we can make money. DCBO. I like this one. Technology services. These guys are in AI. I didn't have them on the list before, but they got 127 left in them. And this is for you. I want to give you props on sound because it's still been paying. It had like a little recovery, but barely. And it's still on its way back up. So I think sound is going to come back to that 334 area in the very near future. Looks good, right? Like this basically came down and tested right here.
Yeah,
And
it's
now
one of my top 10 AI stocks.
yeah. And then I've been watching it. I'm not in it yet, but I've been watching it every week and I freaking like it. So it was good when you like, it was awesome when you first brought it out and then it had that little recovery. I think it looks juicy.
I haven't actually bought any AI stocks. I bought one little one, but I haven't really gone into it yet. But
Yeah, me too. I'm still a bit scared.
definitely, I just don't trust new sectors because I haven't seen any new sectors really be successful
Well,
consistently.
because we've
I've
been
seen them go
violated
up
by
and then
these
come down,
sectors
and
so
then
many
some of them
times.
have just completely gone down, never come back.
Yeah, we're little PTSD from the new sectors. I haven't either, but I'm just starting to see some momentum building and I'm thinking maybe it's time to tap it. Okay, PKK has been having some good news and they've been popping on their good news. So I think we need to pay close attention. So they came back down to their bottom, but they're actually starting to post. So at 66 cents with the last high of $14.51, it looks pretty good to me. That was a year ago. So from 66 to 1430 PKK, and they are in AI. So that's 1985% profit over the year. PFM, Invesco. This is an AI ETF. I looked into it. There really isn't a ton of AI companies in this ETF, but it's balanced well. Like there's a lot of good stuff in here. Like they have like IBM, Microsoft, Advanced Micro Devices. Like they have a nice balance in it. So I actually liked it. Do we have a dividend? 1.9% for an ETF. That's not so bad.
It's all right.
Yeah, not bad for an ETF.
I like the chart.
Yeah, I like the chart as well. And then this, because I got to pull out the small caps. Like I'm on this kind of like little small cap hunt because that Russell 2000 looks ripe. So like, I think it's our time because now that people can't pay their bills on their mortgages, they're looking for that quick buck. One Soft Solutions. I like the chart on this one. It doesn't have a ton in it. It looks like it's got like a hundy, but it looks like a good play. And I think we can ride these rhythms good. Like there's really nice money in these spikes. So that looks like a good area. MWRK, MetaWorks Platforms. We looked at this not long ago. Do you remember looking at it? Got like 2,500 in this? Watch. 3,100. Oh, same time. Like these charts are like a pick one, take the rip. Because when they go together. Is there any AIs that you have that I'm missing right now that are new ones? Because I only have a couple more, just these two. Do you have any new ones in your list, Rich?
Cult Foods.
Cult Foods? Oh, I remember Cult Foods. What are they doing cool stuff now?
Yeah, they've got special type of food that they're making in a lab.
What?
Yes.
Okay,
Essentially
can I
lab engineered food.
Cult Foods. Lab engineered. Oh, gross. Oh, this is like, do you remember Just Eggs? Because they make eggs in a lab in Singapore.
Just go to their website.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now. Okay, Cult
Cellular.
Cellular agriculture. In addition to owning equity or investments, blah, 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 blah.
Cellular agricultural products.
Oh, weird.
So like essentially making food in a lab. But at least that way you're not using any animals.
Oh my God,
And
you're only using chemicals.
You're not
so
using any farming.
Oh, so gross. Lab grown chicken. Nom, nom, nom. That's so gross. To me, it's like eating placentas.
And it's not plant-based.
It's not plant-based, but the thing is that people are brainwashed to think health food is whatever people say are health food. And so the fact is, like this stat is for juicy. Like Brendan Brazier is a co-founder and formulator of Vega. I know Vega, a plant-based food and supplement company. Vega was sold to Denver-based Giant White Wave Foods for $550 million. So that's the co-founder of this. Well then. And he was a co-founder of Beyond Meat. So this guy is a marketing genius for his lab-made food. He markets a lot of shit for big money. All right. So just keep in mind that it's going to be exactly like every other one, like Vega and like Beyond Meats is going to come up and come right back down. But as long as you know to take a profit, take it. I remember that one. I think Spot's looking pretty good. Earth Labs, do you remember Spot? We've been on Spot
Yeah,
for
it's
like,
kind of funny. We actually met with CEO.ca while we were in Toronto,
yeah.
and Spot acquired CEO.ca. And
What?
uh,
When?
I don't know exactly when, but it was for 6 million in cash and 11 million and I think it was 11 million in stock.
Whoa.
And CEO.ca is doing 250 million page views a year. So
So
they're
I am
really,
on point on this stock.
yes. So I actually was thinking about buying some myself. So I think it's really good that you're on point on here
I
because it's
was too when I
actually,
looked at the chart
I'm
because
putting
I
together my top 10, and this is actually one of my top 10 stocks because they're sitting on like 50 million in cash and they're sitting at 22 cents. And I know CO.ca is a great business.
fuck yeah, it is. Oh, nice. Thank you. Okay, so that just validates me because literally I was thinking the same thing. That's why I have it down here because I wanted to say this one looks so juicy to me. It's 22 cents. I remember Spot in the early cannabis days because they came out with AI so that you can look at your bud in AI before actually going to buy your bud. And they had a challenge with people adopting it, but the technology was cool. So I always kept watching them because I'm like, they obviously have the ability to develop cool technology. So clearly, here we are. Looks
Yeah,
good,
I
eh?
think that this one's going to be a special one. I think there's going to be a
Yeah.
chance for this one to do really well.
Yeah, I concur. All right, Spot. One last AI, and this is like a super, super, super micro. And the volume is low right now, but I think the hype train is coming. So PAI, do your own DD. And then we have Michael. Michael. Don't laugh at me. My
Make
hero.
it sound like he's Jesus himself.
He is kind of.
Bitcoin Jesus. Michael
He's like the
Saylor.
Clint Eastwood of he's the Clint Eastwood of Bitcoin. Do you remember RichTV? I said to you, all I want in my life is to just have dinner with Michael, just to tell him that I think he's the coolest human ever for what he's done. Guess what?
Yes.
Maybe someday it'll happen. Because we're a Bitcoin community now. Like legit. Oh my God.
Yeah, that
Okay.
would be really cool.
I know. Andrea's still holding a big wad of MicroStrategy, and I'm so proud of her because she's been like skimming some profits, but she's doing it so smart. She just skimming, and then she's like, if it goes to, if it has a dip, I'll just put it back on. Like, good girl. Good
Did you
girl.
pull up the chart of cult foods?
I
Because you asked me for any picks, but you didn't pull up the chart.
I swear I did. I'm so sorry.
No, you went to the
I
website.
pulled up the website.
Yeah.
Sorry, moment. Okay,
Yeah,
cool.
on the CSE. There it is.
Got it. Whoa, schnazzy.
So obviously, like a lot of stocks came down, and it's now started to kind of make its move from the bottom up. Only at 9 cents.
Unfortunate to say, I think in North America, you guys are going to have a big movement on genetically engineered foods because you're not getting them from Asia anymore. So considering you're not going to get a whole bunch of food from Asia, they need to make it at home, like Trump said. Got to make your food at home, or you're just not going to make it. And that's what it's coming down to. So I think the genetically engineered food are disgusting, but they're going to make it. All right, we got our dip on our Bitcoin miners. We got our dip, and I think we're ready. So BITF, I took my profits, I popped back in, just I've just been accumulating, but Riot, I don't know if we're gonna catch Riot offside this line. So last week when we were here, we said if Riot can cross and hold here, we're good.
Yeah.
And it just dipped down to last support and it's coming back up. So I think we got this. Mara at $10 is so ridiculous. I don't even know if it's even worth shaking it. But we got the dip we wanted. We talked about it last week. We were like, wow, we saw a good spike. Remember that? We had all week, we traded such a nice spike. And then we're like, okay, wait for that dip to come back down. Well, it came back down 70% on that spike. So it's ripe for another 50 to 60. So it's hot. Hot's the same story. Hot came down for the dip and it's again ready for 40 to 60. Hive came down on the dip last week. Bitcoin's building. Right. I really think we're going to see a green Monday. as long as Bitcoin holds over the weekend. But considering Michael is doing his conference starting May 1st, which is Monday, I think we're going to see a lot of institutions start calling in and saying, let's get some of that Bitcoin. I really think next week we're going to see that catalyst to Michael Saylor in here. I really do. So if you don't have a piece by Monday, you might regret it. Right?
I got my BITF and I got my BTBT.
Yeah, same. I'm in BTF, BITF, and BTBT. BTBT, I'm down on. I'm still down like 30% on BTBT.
I'm down on both of them as well, but I believe that they're going to make a run when Bitcoin makes its run back to all-time highs. So I'm just waiting patiently, and hopefully that happens. And when it does, I'll be ready to take profit.
I took just over 30% on the last B. I'm down on my BTBT. I've been holding it for a while. And averaging down. So I'm not down much. So it's almost good. And then my BITF, I just started getting back in. So I've been playing it. Galaxy's at $5, guys. Now I said to stay away from Galaxy because I wasn't sure how badly violated the lunatic got when he invested in Luna and probably SPF because he's a retard. But either way, it's sorry about that. Either way, it seems that those dramas should have already showed up on the books. So therefore, I think we're only going to go up from here because people have a really short memory and then they see charts and get really excited. So there's a 10 bagger on Galaxy.
Yeah, big time opportunity there.
I think Square, Square is right back to target, $60 target. And we're here.
Massive drop from $300 down to $60. Unreal.
Right. But similar to the Bitcoin chart and every other blockchain miner, because they married themselves to Bitcoin, they're always going to continue to have, when Bitcoin has a bear market or a major event, it's going to happen to all these guys, and Square's included in that. So, but the fact that we have Jack Mallers joining Michael Saylor starting on Monday for this big thing, I think we're going to see some announcements come out of Square that will even, I mean, Island, who's here, who works in the blockchain space and the Bitcoin space. He's an expert in the space. He's got some pretty big information on what Saylor's up to and what Jack Mallers is up to. You were just in Costa Rica with him, weren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's going to be exciting.
Do you want to give us a little lowdown and we won't tell anybody? It's a recorded space.
No.
I can't tell. Fuck. It's really cool though. Anyways, I know some stuff I'm not supposed to know. And then now that Square is back at $60, you know some stuff that we're not supposed to know, but it's big.
I like Block right now.
Yeah, you told me. I was just hoping you would say it live.
Guys, yeah, I mean, I don't know any of those inside things, but like just looking at the chart, I like this I'm like salivating and buying some of this.
Yeah.
Just like technical analysis, like the chart is clearly at a bottom.
Right. There's no
the
question. 60 is the nail point. And then the fact that this big news might even come out this week, right? If he's out with Michael's strategy. Okay, so since Jack is with Michael Saylor this week, that news might come out this week. And when it does, you're gonna really regret not getting the 60. So I think I'm gonna tap it on Monday. I think I need to tap it on Monday now that I heard these cool things. So even off that 60, like just to play in the range of consolidation, these are 60% pops just off consolidation. We can compound like a mofo. So we're on that. I still haven't got my big, but I'm gonna, and I keep saying I'm gonna, but I haven't because no one's lent me that extra 10 mil yet. So I gotta just roll with what I got. But I think my next payout on BITF, I'm gonna grab some big, definitely. Okay, I'm gonna just rapid fire through these last ones before I go over. Blackberry's juicy again. You know, we got those last 2 spikes on Blackberry. It came down. So
you know, I don't like Blackberry.
I know you don't, but I do.
I just don't trust them.
I know you don't.
Once a company fails, it's really hard for me to believe they'll be able to turn it around.
But they are turning it around. They've been winning so many awards.
I know, but it's just, I don't know. I don't have.
I know. Once you've been violated, it's hard to go back. I get it. And I don't blame you for that, but they never violated me, and I just see money all over this chart.
No, they've never violated me. I'm talking about like how Blackberries used to be like the phone.
Well, kind of like Meta then. You're still pro and Meta, but nobody uses it, and you're still loyal to them.
Well, clearly people are using it. They had 5.7 billion in net revenue for the quarter.
Rise. Anyway, cybersecurity. We can debate forever, and all we can do is
Stock is
say
up
we have
200% in 6 months. There's nothing to debate. It's one of the
this
hottest
is
stocks in the
recorded
world.
sessions. In 6 months. We're going to revisit April 29th, 2023 and see, oh no, in 2 years. Oh my
Hey,
goodness.
if Meta ever gets back to $80, which it may not ever do it again, I will make sure that I buy it. Oh, it looks like we may have lost Amanda. We'll just wait patiently until Amanda joins us again. I'm sure she'll be joining us any minute. Bitcoin right now sitting right around 29,000. Ethereum sitting around, where's the price of Ethereum right now? Bitcoin at 29,195, Ethereum at 1,902. So Ethereum still holding that 1,900 mark. Gold sitting at 1999, just right on that 2,000 mark, and oil at $76.63. Another company I like is Riverside Resources. I'm going to be telling Amanda when she gets back about Riverside Resources. If she gets back, its symbol is RRI, and the symbol in America RVSDF. RRI in Canada, in America RVSDF, and it's actually done quite well since we started covering them and we featured them. It was up 25% this week. So keep them on your radar, keep them on your watch list. A company with cash in the bank, super cheap, tight flow, good share structure, and they're mining gold in Mexico. Riverside Resources.
Seriously, the fucking power.
All right, so I guess we're not going to have Amanda join us, but thank you everyone for today's session. Hope everyone has a great trading month for May. Been a great month in April again. Stocks and crypto up again in April, and hopefully this will continue in May. Thank you for watching RichTV Live. You're not winning, you're not watching. I'm out. Peace.